Cancer, welcome to your hopes, fears, and reality spread. I apologize as I have fallen off schedule with my weekly postings. I will be posting sporadically for the next month or so as I try to relocate. With that being said, again, I apologize for people who come back every time I post. I wish I was posting weekly. Ooh, Cancer. You've given up on something. Something that used to mean something, something that you used to put a lot of time and energy and effort into, just doesn't seem worth the time, the effort, and the energy anymore. You are holding back on that particular direction, most likely out of self-preservation. You do not wish to put your energy into something anymore because all it does is take. So you're hoping to hold back. And you fear that you're doing this. Okay, you fear that you're holding back and putting these walls up because there's just something deep inside you that feels like this is not my path. This is not where I'm meant to be anymore. Maybe you were supposed to be there for a lesson or a reason or to teach somebody something, but that moment has passed and it's time for you. So basically, you fear that you're defensive because you've outgrown your environment. You've simply outgrown your environment, and that it scares you to think that there are so many people who did not grow with you. And that's a scary thought, because if you keep growing and growing and growing and you're leaving people behind and you're leaving people behind, you recognize that's when people say it's lonely at the top. That's exactly where you're going to be if you keep moving forward and you keep expanding. So no wonder you're stopping. It's almost like, well, if I take this next step, then I'm truly alone. Being alone is a scary thing sometimes. Being the only one who gets it, the only person who understands, the only person with the viewpoint, the only, not viewpoint, vantage point, that's what I meant to say. It can be really, really rough, and maybe you're just not ready to be that alone. The reality of the situation is you feel a chapter closing, you feel something ending, and you know you have the recipe, I guess, to either fix where you are or to move on. But ultimately, that brings you right back to the beginning. Why put all the effort in if nobody understands what? If nobody understands why? Why am I putting all this work in just to have everything fall flat in the end? It feels to me this is a group dynamic and you need the support of others. And it's like you're standing there shouting at everybody, I figured it out, I figured it out, I figured it out. And everybody's just like, yeah, no, I don't think that's it. I don't trust your vision. And that's exactly what's going on here, is you have that vantage point and you fear that even if you were to show everybody, even if you were to describe it, they still are not ready to accept it. And so there you stand alone. And you're like, okay, well, I can either stay here and try and get everybody to figure it out because other people aren't seeing it, other people aren't illuminated on that type of intellectual level, or I can just figure out my own plan of escape. You know, I can try and help people who don't understand, who don't want my help, who aren't interested in the facts, or I can just go. Yeah. Staying put means that all of the seeds that you planted and you were waiting to come into fruition, you're just going to be waiting and waiting and waiting. Because although you did everything that was right, the environment in which you planted your seeds was not conducive to get out of it what you wanted, and you recognize that now. Because you always thought, okay, I can just do it alone, I can just do it alone, I can just do it alone, but you're at a point where you've done everything you can alone, and you've raised this environment up to what it can be, and you really can't do it alone anymore because you need the buy-in. You're looking back at everything you've put into it, and you're like, why? Why have I been here so long? You know? Why did I believe that I was going to make the change and make the difference, despite the fact that the environment is not conducive to the seeds I'm trying to grow? And ultimately, you're like, well, I've learned all the lessons that I can learn here, and maybe the lesson that everybody else needs to know is me leaving. Because my transition is being halted, trying to elevate all of these people with me. There's a military saying, sometimes you need to cut the sling load in order to save the mission. So you have to decide what your mission is. Is your mission this group of people? Or are they the sling load that needs to go so you can go elsewhere? And perhaps once you go elsewhere, people will start to realize your vision. And maybe that's what has to happen. Maybe they need to carry on your vision without you, and you need to find your own guiding star and move forward. I hope you found a message that serves your highest good, and I'll see you next time.